Hello and welcome to today's graphic design tip of the day. For today's tip, I'm going to show you how to use the pen tool, but I'm not going to bring up Adobe Illustrator or Graphic Designer to do this. I actually have a great game for those of you who haven't tried this before to be able to practice, and even if you have, this is a great review to go through the different shortcuts as well as to practice your maneuvering with the pen tool. I put the link in the description. So if I click next here, the first thing that we want to do or learn is that if you hit the P on your keyboard while you're using the program, it will select the pen tool automatically for you. And we're going to start by learning how to create a path. So if I click first on this anchor point and I'm clicking and letting go, and then clicking and letting go, I can create straight lines. Once you get to your ending point and you don't want to connect your shape back to the starting point, you can hit the escape button on your keyboard and it'll deselect your path. So we're going to practice this in this first round or first level that they have here, trying to make your path as close as you can to the one that they're going to give you, bringing our little spaceship back to its home planet. So clicking start, you can see that I'm going to get started here. As close as you get to those paths, and your speed and accuracy are going to give you points for this level. Now, as a bonus trick, if you do want to get a bunch of points here at the end to beat your friends, if you go up and down a bunch of times in this area, it will give you points constantly. But for sake of showing you this game, I'm going to go ahead and finish my path here at the end. Hit escape to end my path. And you've completed your first level. The next level is going to show you exactly what we just learned, but drawing a full shape. So using that same pen tool to click and let go, clicking on any of the edges of the shape, so any of the points. And I'm dropping these anchor points on each of those. Again, clicking and letting go, don't click and drag. And that's going to create those straight lines. And to finish my path this time, I'm going to click on that starting point, and you can see that I would create the shape that way. So the next part is to learn how to create curves. We have the straight lines down at this point, but we want to create these curved paths as well. So again, hit P to grab the pen tool. And you're going to start the same way by clicking on that first point. But now when I let go and go over to this next point, I'm going to click and drag. So after I let go, click and drag out and to the right, trying to align my handlebar here with the path that it's giving me. And I'm going to do the same thing down below on this one. Click and drag to create that curve. And finally, just click on that ending point and escape to end my path. Just as we did before in that first level, we're going to create the curves of this with the curve of the pen tool instead of straight lines. So clicking start. And again, you'll see as you get closer and speedier with this, you'll get more points. But even if you have done this before with the pen tool, this is a great practice for speed and accuracy. If you haven't used the pen tool before, this might be a little bit tricky to start because it is something that you have to work quickly with. Again, if you do want to get more points here at the end, you can go up and down a bunch of times with curves this time. If not, just click back to that starting point. Once your spaceship makes it there, you can click escape to end your path, just like you would in either of the programs. Now, in this last piece of the game, we're going to be drawing this shape, which turns out to be a face of an alien, using my pen tool. So starting with a straight edge here. If I go all the way up to the center here is a little trick and pull this edge, make it pretty close, and it'll give you that same curve going down. Not so great. You could make more points than that. The goal, obviously, in Illustrator is always to make it as smooth as you can around the outside, but you could adjust the handlebars if you really drew this in the program. I hope you enjoyed today's graphic design tip of the day and learned the basics of the pen tool.